For the longest time, I thought the title of this musical was La Cage aux Follies. And I only found out like 2 months ago it's La Cage aux Folles. I'm not French, okay? Now let's talk about it. This production of La Cage is quite monumental for the Regent's Park Open Air Theatre because it's the final production that's being overseen by current artistic director, and if he wanted to go out with a bang, this was a fantastic way to do it. This is a fantastically glitzy and glamorous production. It is an explosion of pure drag. Despite a few issues I have with the story itself, the actual production and the production value of it is a testament to Sheader's work, and a great final note for his time at Regent's Park Open Air Theatre. So, what did I love about this production? What didn't I love? Let's dive into La Cage aux Folles. But if you haven't seen my face before, hi, I'm Ellie. I talk about theatre. I do reviews, I do discussions, I do video essays, and if any of that sounds interesting to you, please consider hitting like and subscribe. It really helps me out, it helps the channel. But put on your best wig and frock and we're gonna dive into La Cage. Let's go. La Cage aux Folles is a 1980s Broadway musical written by Jerry Herman and Harvey Fierstein. It is set in a nightclub specifically surrounding drag entertainment. Hosted by Georges, with his husband Albin performing as the lead star, Zaza. That's such a fun name to say. Zaza. So drag. However, when Georges' son falls in love with a girl who comes from a very conservative family, Georges is forced to meet this family and pretend to be straight and Christian for one night only. Now, I'm just gonna say it, because I want to talk about it, because from the first second I was watching this musical and seeing this plot unfold, there was only one thought in my mind. This is the same plot to the Addams Family musical. Like pretty much the same basic plot. If you strip them back, they're the same plot. And let me prove it. Both plots surround the main characters, the dad in the family circuit, yes, let's go with that word, who is asked by their child to appear in what is considered to the rest of the world normal. For the Addams, that is not being obsessed with the dark, and for George's family, that is pretending to appear conservative and Christian. In both situations, this doesn't last very long. When you strip them back to bare basics, they're the same plot. Now, La Cage did come first, so Addams Family, why'd you steal this plot? Why'd you steal this plot? I'm just asking. Putting that aside, I just wanted to talk about that because I found it funny. Putting that aside, I think this plot is strong, but it's very unbalanced. Act 1 is very light on the plot, it's pretty much all set up, and the only real question that it poses is the way it leaves out Albin, and Albin's feelings on this situation. Act 2 focuses a lot more on it and actually shows us the interaction between the families and gives us that drama. Because of this, I feel like Act 2 is a lot stronger in this department and makes Act 1 feel a little bit weaker. But where Act 2 succeeds on bringing us into that drama, bringing us into that tension, Act 1 succeeds on the glamour, the glitz, the big flashy numbers. The drag performances, the different characters you see in this club, it's so fun to watch. There are so many different sequences that focus on this in Act 1, and you know, it's just fun and reminds you how great drag is as an entertainment. It's campy, it's queer, it's so unapologetic. But definitely, when I was watching this, I was more there for the heart. And I think that's what Act 2 already has. And Harvey Fierstein's script really sells it. The relationships that the characters have, the way that these are tested, and the way that they come back together at the end. It's a great story about family, and how everyone looks different. So yes, does Act 1 kind of flub it with the plot a little bit? Yes. But I think there are definitely a lot of things that make up for that. I really enjoyed a lot of the music in this show as well. I mean, there are so many iconic numbers in this show, especially the Act 1 closer, I Am What I Am, which is phenomenal. And I think it's such a clear anthem for queer people, especially, you know, being trans. I always look at that song and I have a really soft place in my heart for that song. as a clear declaration of confidence and proudness of being who you are. And as well as that, there are so many crowd-pleasing numbers in this show that really are sold well in this production. The best of times, the way they stage it, I don't even want to give it away. It's so fun. It elevates itself more and more and more to this massive ending. The actual number, La Cage aux Folles and We Are What We Are, which happen at the start and towards the end of Act 1 that take us straight into the club, are so elevated, they're so fun. All of the different sections within it are incredible to watch, and it really brings the show to life. And then a couple of the other numbers that really sell themselves to me, like Masculinity, which is such a funny way to open Act 2. And With You in My Arms, which is this really lovely song that explores the relationship between Albin and Georges. It's a really strong score and all implemented into the musical fantastically. But if there is one thing that sells this production more than anything else, it is the design. This production looks stunning. Stunning. Every single costume is beautiful, luxurious, and so camp, so draggy. It keeps getting better and better throughout the musical, especially when we get to the finale, when the sun has set and it's dark all around and all the costumes have their own different light features on them that really shine and bring the entire stage to life. Every single one glowing. It is so beautiful. Beautiful to see. And then there's almost everything Albin wears. And I love how this luxuriousness, this high camp, this high drag is completely contrasted with Act 2 sequences. With the drab colours. It's a really nice contrast, a simple contrast, but it works. And the stage design in general is amazing. I love this stage setup. I love the idea of having the lights on the floor that kind of highlight where the stage is. So even though you don't see the kind of setup of a stage, you can kind of picture it and picture the setup of this stage, this nightclub, this theatre. And I love how it's a little bit worn down, but matched with the bright colours on the curtain. Especially when the sun sets and we see the stage lit up with the different string lights. It is a feast for the eyes. Production-wise, I don't have a single fault. This design is marvellous. And paired up with some great staging and fantastic choreo, it really sells itself as a visual treat. Let's talk about the cast. Starting with Carl Mullaney, who plays Albin. I really like their performance. I think they are ultimately the heart of this show. Their relationship with their stepson, it's really tragic to see him kind of left out of this situation, and Mullaney really explores this through his performance. The hurt, the betrayal that he feels in this moment to see this person who he's basically raised. He sees himself as a mother to his stepson, and yet he's being tossed aside. It's a very human and believable portrayal, especially of someone who is so over the top in camp. And of course, I Am What I Am is such a fierce number, and Mullaney performs it beautifully. And Mullaney's performance of it is so deeply moving. A great end to Act 1. Billy Carter really explores through his portrayal the impossible choice that Georges has been tasked with. Defend his son or defend his husband, his lover. Some of my favourite sequences that Carter delivers is his hosting sequences. His delivery is always hilarious and on point. Ben Colton plays the son, Jean-Michel, and he comes off as very young and naive. And I really enjoy the character growth and the development and the journey that Colton's character goes on in this musical. Another highlight was actually an understudy on for this role. Typically, John Owen Jones plays Edwin, but for this performance that I was at, we had the amazing Craig Armstrong on. And this is a very tough role. Edwin is the conservative father of the lover of Jean-Michel. It's that just like this. It's the subtle comments that he makes, the little remarks that he makes that really turn you against this character. And Shaquille Kamoso, who plays Jacob, an absolute standout in this show. They completely take over the stage with their presence. Even their reactions in the background are so over the top and hilarious. They sell every moment and they take advantage of every single moment they're on that stage. Other great performances in the show include Debbie Kurup as Jacqueline, who has a really lovely rapport with Albin's character. Sophie Pornett, who plays Anne, who's a really lovely presence, and the chemistry that she has with Ben Colton is lovely. And I want to give a shout out to this entire ensemble. All of the drag performers in this show are incredible. Lacage is definitely one that I would say go and see. It is a great celebration of drag and queer culture and tells a really touching story of found family. This production is flashy, elegant, and everything you want in drag musical theatre, and is one of the most entertaining shows of the year. I would give this production a very strong 4 stars. I think it just misses it because of a couple of problems with pacing in Act 1, but I think the rest of the show makes up for it in droves. But what do you think? Have you seen Lacage, this production, or any other one? What do you think? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. If you did enjoy this video, please consider hitting like and subscribe. It really helps me, it helps out the channel. Here's some links to my other videos on screen right now, and a link to my Instagram if you want to drop me a follow over there. But that's it for me today, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!